What's going on, collectors? Welcome into Ross Loves Cards. Today I'm going to share with you how my weekend went. I'm going to show a card or two and a gift that my boy got. I want to run through it, and also a couple cards that came in the mail this morning. This weekend started off, I guess it was Saturday. My parents always like to take each one of me and my family, whose ever birthday it is, will take us out to dinner, and my birthday was it was a month ago today. A month ago back, that is. June 27th. And we had stuff going on all the time. Dance recital, baseball, just stuff going on. A card show, I guess a couple weekends ago. But anyways, this weekend we was finally able to go have dinner. So we went to Cheddar's, and you guys will be pleased to know that I got a steak, my wife did, and she was talking about how hers wasn't as good, so I went ahead and I shared mine with her. Of course, it was after, I'd ate most of it, but hey, it's improvement. But after that, I said, well, I want to go by the card shop and see what they've got of Brett and Yount. I said, you guys can just drop me off. You can go to Sam's. And so they dropped me off, and they go to Sam's, and my wife texts me. I didn't see the text message, and finally she calls, and she said, are you okay if we go to the Discovery Center? Well, I just looked at there was roughly 250 Brett cards, and they had an 800 count box full of Yount. And I told her, I said, yep, just go ahead. So I'll post a picture here if I still have it. What part of the Younts when I was going through it after I'd went through the Brett box. And I'll show you here what I ended up with. I ended up with this stack of cards, 121 cards. And also, the kids came in after I was there 3.5 hours. The kids came in and found out they had a free box for kids, and they picked up 2 starting lineups. I don't even know who the characters is, and they also had a boutique deal at the back, or whatever they call it, and my wife got her and my daughter scrunchies. So I'll show a picture of that. Total, after we walked out the door, was $9.70. They had a quarter marked on all them cards. It was in a quarter box section. And I told him I was expecting to pay, $30 or however much he was going to charge me. And he said the total, and I said, "Would you hear how much I said?" And he says, "Yeah, we give you a break after 100. So they should have had a sign up. I would have been a lot less picky if I'd have known that. But I went through, I set them apart all by year. Well, actually, what I started to do was going through, and if I'd known I didn't have the card or I didn't remember, I would set it to one side. Then I separated them all by years, took out all the doubles. And like I said, I was there 3.5 hours, and I'm not exaggerating. But anyways, I went through, got what I thought was good, and then I started checking each one on my list, going and finding it on the list. And I do have some cards. I've already came home that night. I started on it. Then after church Sunday night, I worked on it last night till probably about 10:30. And so I'll probably spend another 3.5, maybe 5 or 6 hours putting them in. But I love putting them in the binder. It was a great time. I'll show you some extras I had left over. Some of these things I bought knowing they didn't go in the collection, but I couldn't not buy them because they was cool. This one is not one of those cards. I had 2 Flair 90 George Brett cards. So my boy's going to get this one. Like I said, I think I picked up like 20, 25 Brett cards. You'd think I could have seen a double in there, but that's beside the point. This card, I couldn't find another Flair, but got to further investigation. I found out this is the bottom of the box, 1987 Robin Yount. So I thought that was cool, being thicker and actual cardboard of a box. Thought that was kind of a cool pickup. Here is a Score Superstar. I can't tell you what year. 1990. But you all was sitting on the edge of your seat waiting to hear that year. This 93 Donruss. George Brett does not have a matching card to this, so it's not on my list. And 94 Donruss Gold. George Brett has a 94 Donruss, but he does not have a 94 Gold. So this card was right behind the regular 94, and I thought, well, heck, I got to pick that up anyways. But just interesting things that I'm learning as I go along in this collection. Question. I seen this card when I was going through the Brett section, and it wasn't on my list. But I came across this one, and yeah, it still wasn't on my list. This card right here is a 1989 checklist for the Royals, and this is a 1990 Brewers checklist. I'm thinking about adding it to the collection, like in the front pages where, you know, it's not part of the collection, but it is. So that's kind of something I'm thinking about. Not sure what I'm going to do there, but leave me your thoughts down below. Should I put that in the front pages of the binder, or maybe the back pages? I've got nothing on the back page. Maybe I'll put it in the back page and not count it towards the count. But let me know. Something else I picked up, and this was in a white wrapper, but I peeled this out of the wrapper this morning. 1994 Tombstone Super Pro Series pizza card, Robin Yount. Mike Piazza, I'd done a video, boy, I can't remember how long ago it was, but I bought that because I remember when, as a kid, seeing on the pizza box, and I thought, boy, that'd be cool to have, and he was on it, and like I told you, Piazza and pizza, they kind of look like they're spelled a whole lot alike, so I couldn't pass up this, even though Brett doesn't have one. Card that I picked up just because I think it is awesome is this 1992 Fleer Robin Yount. I think it's just a cool card. Another card that is cool is this. I think it's a 92 as well. 1992 Pinnacle Robin Yount on a motorcycle. Motocross. I bought this maybe for my girl. She loves motorcycles, so I thought about maybe getting that for her. But just kind of an awesome card. Can't remember what card it was I was sharing, and I read the back. Maybe it was Drake's. The Drake's cookie card from 84. Anyways, the Drake's card. I believe on the back it had a hobby as motorcycling. So I thought that was cool. Kind of tied them cards together. And the last card I got there was Robin Yount, this 24 Heritage. I got that for my girl. It doesn't go in my collection. But she loves the pink cards. Mail day now. Well, anyways, so I had 121, 110 went to my Brett Yount binders that I showed in the last video. And I think that puts me to over 25%. I think I've got 200 cards out of 694. So, anyways, that's progress report on that. I'm over a quarter of the way. Maybe it's 28%. But I want to show a couple minor league cards of Yordano Ventura. This card is kind of a special card to me. I didn't know about this card till probably a couple weeks ago. But it is a 1911 Topps, I was going to say AZL Royals. Anyways, it's an AZL card, which I assume is Arizona League card. And said he was signed with the Royals back in 2008. This card is numbered 85 out of 309. But second card I want to show you is this 2013 Naturals Heritage. I'm sorry, Heritage when he was on the Naturals, the black version. This one is numbered 7 out of 96. Okay, because you know that's important, but I think it's kind of cool. I like these two cards together. You know, I guess there's 2 years from this card to this card. What I found was interesting is on this 2011, he is 5'11" and weighs 140 pounds. So, pretty lean, I'm guessing. Then step up, guess that'd be 2 years later. He's still 5'11", but he's 180 pounds. And you know, it says here, I found this interesting too. I'm going to read one more thing. It says, Giordano's prospect status improved in lockstep when his fastball velocity, which was in the mid-80s when he was signed. He was signed throwing mid-80s. But now, in 2012, this is a 13, but in 2012, he was hitting 3 digits. 15 miles an hour is a lot. Now, was that the time from 2008? I mean, did he get better with time? Or was it the weight? I'm sure if you're 140 pounds and you put on 40 pounds of muscle, and he didn't look real soft when he weighed 180 pounds. But putting on that much weight, maturing that much, I just thought, man, that's awesome, you know. Maybe you guys don't find that interesting. Kind of fit with me, you know. Time helps a lot of things, and so does work and effort. Kind of like collecting. You know, I've heard a lot of talk here lately about what makes a great collector. From Turn Back the Clock, they did one on that, and Mangini talked about that as well. And, you know, people would say, well, is it time, money? Well, both is nice. You know, if you can get your time in there and get enough money and effort put into it. But something kind of think about. You know, it'd be nice to have both. It'd be nice to have one or the other, just depending on what you're looking at. But now that I've kind of veered off there, I want to show you my boy's gift that he got. This is the Story of Baseball coloring book. Now, I'm sharing this in case you all don't know about this. I think this would be great to get for somebody, for a kid. You can get it for an adult. I don't care. But the Story of Baseball coloring book. We're going to have story time. So if you all was here, we'd be sitting cross-legged around the floor here, but we're not. Starts out, we got Cy Young over here, and Nap Lajoie over here. I am sorry. Okay. We got John McGraw over here. Anyways, if I knew how to edit, I'd cut that part out. But it's got Rube Waddell, Sam Crawford. We're not going to go through the whole book. But it's got Mathewson in it, Babe Ruth for the Red Sox, George Sisler, Lefty Grove, Lou Gehrig, Al Simmons, Carl Hubble, Bill Dickey, Jimmy Fox, Ernie Lombardi, Luke Appling, Hank Greenberg, Dizzy Dean, DiMaggio, Ernie Banks. I skipped a bunch in there, but of course it had Mathewson, Yogi, Duke Snider. This thing's just loaded with people. It's got Mickey Mantle right here and Roberto Clemente there. And I'll just read you what it says about Mickey Mantle. There's little write-ups at the bottom of each section. It says Mickey Mantle, 1931 to 1995, was an outfielder for the Yankees. Mickey was one of the toughest and most dynamic players in baseball history in spite of injuries and pain that plagued him throughout his career. His greatest season was 1956 when he became the 6th Triple Crown winner in the AL history. With a .353 batting average, 52 home runs, 130 RBIs, in 1961 he hit 54 homers, runner-up to Roger Maris, then record 61. He was AL MVP in 1956, 1957, and 1962. He led 4 times in home runs, once in triples, 6 times in runs scored, and 3 times in slugging average. Mickey now holds numerous career series records, including 18 home runs, 40 RBIs, and 42 runs scored. His lifetime homer total was 536. Then it says sweater, shirt, insignia, socks, cap, navy blue. So it kind of gives you advice on what to color, what colors you want to. Holding up for me and saying this was Nap Lashway, it's got little Napoleon on there. I just seen the Nap Napoleon. That's why I said that. Then I got to thinking, I do not think that's who that was. But anyways, I recommend this book. Story of Baseball, coloring book. Let me see what the price of it was. $5.99. I'm thinking about maybe buying me a coloring book and buying a card of each one of the people in here. But it even has up through Pete Rose. There's a bunch of people in here. So I recommend going out, buying this for yourself, buying it for a kid, buying it for an adult. Fun little way to enjoy the hobby. I appreciate you all watching. I hope you all have a great day and hope you tune in for the next one. Thanks.